I was in a place in 2022 where like I did not want to be on camera because I did not like myself. I did not like my life. I did not like myself. I did not like the way that I looked, and it was just very hard for me to want to be on camera. It is me, Cherry, and I'm back with not only a couple of story times but a major life update that a lot of people have been asking about, and I just haven't been on YouTube in forever. I've just been really lying low and doing a lot of stuff, and this is going to be my story, testimony, update, everything you want to call it is going to be right here because we're about to get back in alignment with YouTube. But I just have so many things to catch you guys. Like, I have so much to catch you up on. It's freaking crazy. That is what this video is going to be. So if you would like to know where I've been at, what I've been up to, keep watching. And yeah, all my social medias will be linked down below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up so that more people can find my content. Turn on your notifications because I'm very sporadic with how I post. If you don't have them on, you will miss me. And I'm really active on TikTok and Instagram and everything like that. And let's get into this, you guys. Also, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. So, ignore the background. I just moved in. For you guys that follow me on Instagram, I just moved into my place in Dallas, Texas. I am now located in Dallas, Texas. I moved from New York City down here for school. So I don't have any furniture yet. Today, I'm recording this on Thursday. I have been here since Saturday. So I haven't even been here a whole week yet. So I am just like super happy and excited to be here. My voice is echoing because again, I have no furniture. So my voice just bounced off the walls, child. And I'm just so happy to be here. I don't even care. I got an air mattress over there. I have like, I should do like a tour. Maybe I'll just do, I know people like empty apartment tours. I'll probably just do like when mine is decorated. Or maybe I'll do both, I don't know. But yes, so I am in my place in Dallas, Texas. It is beautiful. I love my apartment. It's so cute. It's my first time living on my own by myself with no one else but me and Mango, my cat. She's literally right beside me. Hopefully she lets me record without interrupting. But I done woke her up, so I don't know if y'all see. Well, there's Mango's tail, but it is just me and Mango, and I am about to tell you guys how I got here and the journey that took for like me to even get here, because it was a lot. Like, I have 2022, like when people were like, oh, where have you been, like, woo. 2022 by far was one of my worst years. I was so depressed. I was so sad. I did not want to be on this planet anymore. I did not want to participate at life. I did not want to, I was trying to make my exit, honestly. And I was just going through a lot. Like, money was horrible. My love life was non-existent. Just nothing was like working out in 2022 for me. Like, I was just like in such a low place. I've never felt low to the point where like I just did not want to be on the planet. You know, like I've always struggled with like depression on and off, you know, but like never to the point where I was like, yo, you can literally remove me. Like, I don't want to be here anymore, right? And the only thing honestly that really like stopped me was just, I was just like, you know what, Earth is ghetto, and if I take myself out, I believe in like karma and like reincarnation, and I just feel like I'll be placed back on this ghetto planet, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to come back. So I'm trying to, you know, complete my mission so that the universe don't be like, all right, babe, it's time for you to start again. Don't start me again. Don't start me again. Don't you do it. I feel it in my soul. But yeah, so that's what was going on in like 2022. So like 2023 came around and I said all of my mother effing prayers that 2023 would not be a repeat of 2022. I was just like so down bad, y'all. Like, when I tell you, I have so many stories that I haven't told YouTube yet, like, and not all of them are bad. Like some of them are like, okay, like it was like, it's interesting, like as far as like tea wise, but like as far as like the actual situation, I was just going through some real like just the lowest of the low type ish. That's like people were seeing like the fun parts, like me being outside or whatever, but they weren't seeing, I'm gonna be honest, people were seeing me being outside, me taking trips. They weren't seeing the fact that I got stranded in Houston and had to stay at a Motel 6 because the fact that I was freaking stranded. They weren't seeing those parts. They were just seeing me out in Houston making money and having fun. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm be transparent. Like the second time I went to Houston was horrendous. Like that's a whole nother story within itself. I had a whole nother hotel booked. Ended up like, you know, this guy did something stupid. My money got caught up and I was out $1,000. Like not the whole time I was in Houston, but like I didn't have access to that $1,000 because it was like being refunded or whatever. So I didn't have access to like over a band until after I finished the trip. So while I was down there, because I wasn't planning for that to be the case, I was fucked. Like I was down there, I was fucked up. Like literally me and, you know, the person I was with at the time, like my friend at the time, were like, we was stuck in it, like motel thugging, you know? That whole second trip to Houston. So basically, not the trip where I was saying, like, if you guys have been around here for a while and you saw that live where I was talking about being in Houston and like the weird bodyguard and like dancing in a celebrity section and stuff, that was my first trip to Houston. We stayed at an Airbnb, it was nice, it was cute, like, you know. But this was the basic, I went down there a second time and it was just, it was a lot. And the second time it was just, y'all, then I went down to the second time I went to Dallas. I was supposed to see like this guy and like we ended up like, he was like being like on some weird shit and like I ended up at an Airbnb in Dallas the second time. It was just, it was a lot. So 2022 was just not my best year. Like it was just not. I said all the prayers in the freaking world that 2023 would not be a repeat. So boom, I get down to, and again, y'all, I'll tell y'all those stories, but like they're all like, they all need individual story times. Like they're not something that can fit into this. But so boom, I decided, I was like, yo, like money wasn't good or anything, but I was like, you know what, like I just made the decision. I was like, because I don't want this year to be a repeat and I want it to be different. I was like, I know that I want to go to school for this. I've been saving up the money to go to school for this, and that was that, this being aesthetic nursing. I was like, I want to go do aesthetic nursing. And I was like looking into like, y'all, I was looking, because I want to pair it with like permanent makeup, everything like that. The permanent makeup classes were like 2-3 bands, right? So at the time, like I said, the club was slow. I was like, yo, any other, like if it would have been 2021, 2 or 3 bands, I would have had that literally in 2 or 3 days. I could have been took that class. Stupid ass me didn't do it. So now I'm sitting here in 2023 and I'm like, how am I gonna like do this stuff that I want to do? So I ultimately decided, I was like, I'm going to apply for school in Houston and I'm gonna apply for school in Dallas. Don't know how I'm gonna get down there. I don't have the funds. I don't have anything saved up, but I'm gonna do it. So I applied for school. I got into both, right? So I got into both schools, and then I still kind of like, after I got into both schools, like I wouldn't say I bullshitted all the way, but I still kind of like, I procrastinated like another, like maybe like 2 weeks or so after I got into both schools, because I was just like kind of in disbelief, because like again, things have been going so bad that I was like in disbelief that this seemed to be like working out. But also I was just kind of like, you get in this mode where like you don't allow yourself to like feel like good things should happen for you, or like that they are gonna happen. So you get in this mode where you're just like, oh, like okay, this happened, but you know, what's the catch? What's gonna go, you know? So I was in that space. So I kind of bullshitted for a second. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick one of the two. So at first I started filling out the application, not the application, but I started doing the onboarding process for Houston. And I thought about it, I said, okay, you love to, I gotta be honest with myself. Y'all that have me on Instagram or TikTok, you probably know. I love to be outside. I'm an extrovert, I love to party. I do. I go through phases where I like to be like by myself, by my own something. Y'all, my suitcase and stuff is in the back, so just like ignore that. Like I said, I literally haven't even been here the whole week yet, like not even unpacked or anything, and don't have anywhere to put my stuff if I did unpack. So I I like to be outside. I know that about me. I'm an extrovert. I love to be out. Like when I was in New York, I was living I have so many stories from New York because 2022 was a shitty year, but I was still living a crazy ass life. Like it was wild. 2021 was wild. Like I just have stories from both years. Like the past 4.5 years in New York have been lit as the fuck. And when I left New York, like people think like, oh, people's misconceptions like, oh, you must have left New York because you didn't like it. It must have been too fast paced. No, I love New York. New York will always have a piece of my heart. I love New York to death. I left New York because I missed having space, washer and dryer, and I wanted to, you know, big closets. And I also, y'all, sorry, I'm doing my nails tonight, but I wanted to live on my own for the first time. I've never lived on my own before. And I was like, realistically, that's not gonna happen for me anytime soon in New York City, because New York City is like 3 or 5 bands for a 1 bedroom that's nice. And that is just, it's not feasible. It's just not. For me in this moment, it's not. So I was just like, yo, I want to live by myself for the first time ever. All right, guys, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, New York was expensive and I just felt like my time was running out there. So boom. I was like, I want to take this CNA course, and I knew that I wanted to do aesthetic nursing, and I wanted to be able to work in like hospitals or like rehabilitation facilities or like surgery centers, like when the girls get like the BB, because I love me a surgery girly, okay? Like I'm not mad at it. So I want to be able to like do those type of things like while I'm in school, so that it will align me more for like when I get through my program, right? So I started being like, okay, like I need to save up to take CNA classes. But again, the club was so painfully slow that I was just like, I would be in the club, y'all. I would be in the club, and this had never happened to me. I would be in the club leaving with $0. I would be leaving with $40, $60 or whatever, right? But then 2023 hit, and at the beginning of 2023, I was like kind of like in and out of the club, but not really doing too much. Soon as I told the universe and God that I had a plan, and I really laid out that plan, I didn't just say like, oh, I need this amount or whatever. I said, this is my plan, this is how much I need, this is what I need it for, this is where I'm planning to go, this is the date that I'm planning to be out by, whatever we do. Everything started aligning. So I had been trying to save up for the CNA class, right? And the class was like, all together with everything that I had to pay for, the class was like maybe like $1,200, $1,300. They advertised it as like, they advertised it at $750. That class was fucking $750. But even at $750, I was making so little money that I didn't know how I was gonna do it, right? I called up my aunt on this random day, and we're just talking. I think she might have actually texted me and just like, hey, like, you know, how are you? Like, how have you been? Like, what are you up to? Da da. So I ended up calling her, and I'm just like, you know, I call her on like a checkup call. I'm like, so I'm like, hey, like this is how life is going. This is what I'm up to. Like this is what I'm doing. These are my plans. Not even thinking like, y'all, when I tell you, I get chills when I think about it, because the way that like my aunt doesn't even, like my aunt is like my second mom. Like my mom and my aunt are identical twins. I love them both to death. My aunt has always been like my second mom. So when I was on the phone with her, like she doesn't realize how much of a pivotal role that she played just by doing something as like small as like the act of kindness that she did. As far as like, we're on the phone, I'm telling her about the CNA class. She said, how much is the class? I told her. She's like, okay, bet, I'll pay for it. I was in shock on the phone for a second, because I'm just like, I didn't call her again with the intention of being like, oh, I'm gonna give her a sob story and she's gonna pay for my class. I was just literally just like, hey, like this is my life update, this is what I'm working on right now, this is what I'm saving for. When she offered to do that, I said, I have to take this, because I've always been the type to where like, I don't do well with people trying to help me, and I have to understand that it's okay to need help. It's okay to need help. And honestly, in 2022, I needed help. My mom had to bail me out and pay my rent 2 months out of the last 2 months of 2022. I was making so little money. And y'all, mind you, this is coming from somebody who like in 2021, when I say I was up to the point I was helping people around me. My younger brother could call me and be like, hey, I need this, I need that. And I literally would have been like, okay, it's fine, don't worry about paying me back, like I got you. Because I was making so much in 2021, but I was so stupid with it because I had never touched so much money. So I was spending everything I was making like a dumbass. So 2022 came around and I was literally flat broke. Like, I was so broke, y'all, that I would literally, there would be days, and I'm just being like so transparent, like I don't care. There would be days where I would go to the train, bro, to get on the train, and I would pray that somebody had left like the door open, because I couldn't pay the $2.75 to get on the train because my bank account was in the negative. So I would literally just be like, okay, like, oh, someone leaves it open. I literally would like be like, okay, like I'm eating like sardines and ramen noodles. Now granted, I actually love sardines. I know they're struggle food, but I actually like sardines, and they're actually really good for you. So I do eat those even when I'm not struggling, but I was eating, at that time, I was eating those because I was struggling. Mind y'all, while all this was going on, I'm just like, I'm not telling anybody except for like my closest like best, because honestly a lot of people I knew were just going, like, I don't know what was in the waters in 2022, but a lot of people were going through a lot of dark shit in 2022, and I was one of them. So like my closest friends knew the situation I was in, but we were all down bad. So it was like no one could help the next person because everybody was kind of like just going through it. And I didn't want to, like, the people that could have helped me as far as like, you know, maybe family, or like maybe like, I don't know, I could have like maybe started talking to some guy or something just to get by or whatever. But I don't do well with asking for help. It gives me anxiety. I really don't like asking people for help. I will literally be back against the wall fighting my way out of whatever I need to fight myself out of, because the thought of asking people for help gives me extreme anxiety. I don't like, I think maybe it's just like the fear of rejection, and like the fact that I've had to do so much on my own before, that I just go into like, okay, I can fix it myself mode. I don't like, you know, before I go into, all right, I might actually need help, I will try to do anything to fix it myself first. And sometimes it gets me in predicaments because I should have just asked for help. And then I, you know, get myself even further caught up because now I'm in a predicament, because instead of asking for help, I tried to fix something myself that I had no business trying to fix. Because in my head, the way that my brain works is I feel like if I ask people for help, they'll throw it back in my face later. Because I've had so many situations in life where that's how people have handled helping me. And I don't want anybody to be able to throw anything back in my face or like hold it over my head. So I just have put myself in the shittiest of shittiest predicaments sometimes because I don't be wanting to ask for help. Y'all, it was so bad that, oh my God, in 2022, I remember like a friend of mine, and we're still close friends, like I love her to death, but baby girl like to spend money, period. You know, I'm not mad at it. But I was down so bad, and she was having a birthday dinner at this steakhouse, right? It was like at Morton's or something. And so on one end, like I'm very big on like showing up for people in any capacity that I can, especially for birthdays, because birthdays are a big deal, you know? And I understand that it can be hurtful when people don't show up for your birthday, but I also understand on the other end, there's not enough nuance to the conversation about birthdays and everything like that. Because on one end, and not saying that this particular friend would have felt that way, but on one end, if you don't show up to the dinner because you don't have the, you know, you're not in a good place financially, you're a bad friend. If you show up to the dinner and you want your portion of the dinner split off from everyone else's because you only paid for what you could afford, then you're the cheap friend. It's too many things where it's like you really can't win, you know? If you tell people, oh, I can't show up because finances are bad, you're a bad friend, you're cheap. If you show up and then you don't have the money to spend, you're a bad friend and you're cheap. So it's really just, you know, there's no winning. And it was to the point that myself and the other friend that I came to the dinner with, we were both in a really bad situation or whatever, and it came time to pay. And mind you, I only had like maybe like, I was like, I can do anywhere from like 70 to 80 bucks for this dinner. It came time to pay and everybody's portion was $150, right? So the friend that I came with goes to the bathroom and is calling a parent of hers so that they can, you know, help pay for her portion or like, you know, send her some money. And myself, I just ended up getting so lucky that night because one of the girls at the table was on Instagram Live, and this guy saw me on her live, and he was like, oh, who's your friend? She's fine. I want to get to know her, da-da-da. Like, I'm paying for her dinner, right? He ended up selling me $100, mind you, complete stranger. This was just by the grace of God, yo. The universe be looking out for me. Like, I'm literally, like, God's favorite. I'm not even joking. He ends up sending $100 to me via, like, Cash App or Zelle. So when he did that, I only ended up paying $50. Mind y'all, he didn't know how much dinner came out to. He just sent the 100 just to, like, you know, just to go towards, like, to cover dinner, whatever. So I got so lucky because I only had, at the time that we did that dinner, I had $120 in my bank account. I was like, I cannot, like, where am I pulling 150 out of? Me and the friend that I came with, we were looking at each other like, how the hell are we about to do this? Like, what the fuck? Like, we had ordered what we knew that we could afford. Everybody else is getting, like, you know, expensive steak. They're getting multiple drinks, everything like that, which is no one else's fault. But when it comes time to pay, it's like, don't expect me to, you got all that because, you know, you could afford that or whatever. Don't expect me to split the bill with all y'all, and y'all got hella shit. And me and this friend only got, you know, we got something so small. Like, if we would have split it, my friend and myself, our meals would have been like maybe $60 or $70 a piece, if that. Because keep in mind, these were also like dancer friends too, and there's just like, when you dance, there's like so much stigma around money and stuff, and like, you know, people lose touch with reality in the dance world. So it's almost like everyone expects you to have like so much money, or basically like be like kind of like a little like fake rich girl kind of when you dance. I felt so bad because it's like everyone knew that I was one of the dancers that always made money in the club, but 2022 wasn't like that for me. So for me to be like struggling the way that I was, it was so embarrassing, and I didn't want to have to tell them like, hey, like, this just hasn't been a good year in the club for me. Like, no one was having a good year in the club, but you know, people were getting lucky here and there. I wasn't even getting lucky in 2022. So I didn't want to tell them like, hey, like, I haven't had a good night in a really long time. Like, I really cannot afford this. And that's just, I'm just giving you guys examples of like how bad it was and what I was going through. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I love to be transparent because people think that everything is like, oh, like glitter and gold or whatever, grass is greener, whatever the case may be. People on Instagram show you what they want to show you, including me. Like, people don't see what I don't want them to see. I was down so bad in 2022 that when New York slowed up, like as far as the clubs, that would have usually been, okay, I'm about to go travel dance. But travel dancing costs money. You need at least 2 bands to go travel dance anywhere. You need money for like flights, hotels, tip outs, everything like that. I was down so bad, I couldn't save up enough to go travel dance anywhere else. So I'm seeing videos and everything of girls in other cities making money. They're still running up a bag. And I knew that if I could get down to any of those other cities, I could have been back in position and I could have ran it up. But I was down so bad, I couldn't risk going to travel dance anywhere else. Like, 2022 was a year. It was that bad. So when my aunt offered, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is the break that I needed. Like, I needed this so bad, bro. So she was like, okay, like, you know, I gave her the deadline for when I needed the money by, and I sent her, like, when I paid for my classes and stuff, I gave her the receipts, and I was just like, I'm doing this. I went out and I got my scrubs, and I started CNA class. So I'm in the classes, I'm so happy, I'm so ecstatic, right? And at the time, I feel like, and I'm not gonna speak like too much on this because I just feel like this would be like something for like a way later date or something, but at the time, I feel like I was kind of still around people though that weren't necessarily all the way good for me or all the way for me, or like putting me in situations that like were just like compromising to what I was trying to do. And I feel like the next steps, I just feel like I literally, y'all, like when I say like, I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. I talk to God every day. God talks to me back and I listen, right? And I feel like, or not even I feel like, I keep saying I feel like because it's honestly just me in denial about the fact that like, God kept telling me there are certain people that can't come on this journey with you, and it does not mean they're bad people or whatever. It just means that the alignment is off. They can't come on this journey with you, and I'm not going to give you this or that until you cut them loose. And I was fighting it tooth and nail because I had so much undying love for specific people that God was just like, they cannot come on this part of this journey. They can't come. And it was hurting my soul to realize that was what was going on. Like, it was hurting me so bad. I was just like, no, like I was literally like, I was arguing back with God. I was just like, no, like, I know that you said that this is that. Like, y'all, when I tell you, I was getting, I hate to even say it like this because I'm just like, but it's true. I was getting dreams for why certain people couldn't come with me. I was getting placed in situation after situation after situation after situation that was just showing me like, hey, this is not like, you are not gonna get blessed until you get rid of this toxicity or whatever. And I was just fighting it because, again, like I said, I love hard. When I love people, I love very, very hard. And I was just like, I don't care. I will fight the universe to keep this person. Like, I don't care. And it wasn't aligning. So I finally, like, a situation happened, and that situation was like the icing on the cake to where, like, I had been seeing stuff, but I was just like, that situation just made me like, you know what, like, now I'm fed up. Like, I do still love this person, but like, now I'm actually fed the fuck up because I just, you know, I've been taking this shit and I just, no. So when that situation happened, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna pull myself back. I'm gonna remove myself. Y'all, the minute I removed myself, and I'm capping to you not, like, I swear to you, it happened just like this. The minute I removed myself, and mind you, I'm still taking my CNA classes at the time, whatever we do. The minute I removed myself, I was still dancing in the club because I was like, I need this certain amount so I can make this move, right? Y'all, I was making a little bit here and there, whatever, because like I said, 2023 was picking up, but it wasn't like, I wasn't back to making like no racks yet. I went from making like a little bit here, a little bit there. Like, I would go in the club, I would maybe make like, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know, like maybe like 4 something, maybe 5 something, which was good because, again, 2022 was so bad that I wasn't even seeing those type of nights in 2022. So for me to, like, when it first started like picking up, I'm like, wow, like every time I go in the club, I'm back making like, you know, anywhere from like 4 to 5 something. I'm like, okay, like it's picking back up, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, if I do this like 4 times a week, and it, you know, say it's like 4, okay, that's like $1,600 a week. If I'm making like 500 or whatever, I do this, you know, 5 times a week, I'm making like $2,500 a week. So I'm like, okay, like I can make this work, right? Because I just need to make a certain amount so I can like save up, and then I can go to school. Y'all, all of a sudden, I cut out what God was like, hey, you need to release this. Boom. All of a sudden, I'm going in the club. I'm having $700 nights again. I hadn't seen the $700 nights in so fucking long. I'm going in the club, and then it went from having $700 nights, I'm having $900 nights. I'm having $1,600 nights in the club on nights that are dead for everybody else, and nobody else is making money, but I'm walking out somehow with $1,500, $1,600. And I had not seen nights like that, y'all, and I swear to you, like, it's so crazy how this happened. I had not seen nights like that in like a whole year. It had been a whole year since I had even seen $1,000 night. The whole 2022, I had not seen $1,000 night, right? Okay, maybe 3 times in the whole 2022. But that's 3 times in a whole year, and I'm dancing consistently. That's wild.
And honestly, I'll take it even further than that, because I know I said as soon as I cut that toxicity out, like that person out, everything started aligning and going like really, really good. Even the same day that I just made the decision, I was like, hey, you know, like, honestly, it's time, and this person isn't coming for the rest of this journey. Y'all, when I tell you, the minute I did that, I left that situation and I went to work that same night. And made like $600-$700. That same night that I said, you know what, like, this is gonna be the end. And then the rest of that week and then on continue to bless me. Like, it is insane.
So, well, all of a sudden it's 2023. I take my CNA class. I cut out what God said to cut out, or whatever. And I started making hella money. And not only did I cut out like the person that he said, like, hey, this person's not meant to come with you. I cut out the person, and then I also I had changed my diet, so I was like eating healthier. I stopped drinking for like a month. I was like, I need to do stuff to make myself feel good, because I felt ugly as fuck all of 2022. I was not getting attention. People was like being weird towards me. I was getting played left and right. Like, well, shit, I was getting played when I even was entertaining people, because I really wasn't even entertaining people, because I was just like that painfully single. But when I was entertaining people, I was getting people was just handing me their ass to kiss consistently, right? So I get to 2023, I start taking this class, I start making money, I start changing my diet, I start, just living like this healthy lifestyle while I'm in this class, because like I'm so motivated, right? And I started feeling way better about myself, and I feel like when I started feeling way better about myself, some of the people around me started feeling the type of way that I was feeling, the way that I was about myself, right? Because it had been so long that I had felt that way. So it was like, I was like kind of like I had kind of like fallen back to the wayside. Like, I was like the sidekick, I was kind of like the insecure one, I was the confident one. So it was like, when I started to feel like myself again, because I remember I prayed to God, I said, yo, I just want to feel like myself again. I want to feel like that girl again, because I've always been very confident, very outgoing, very outspoken. But 2022, I did not feel like myself, and I was praying not only for better days, but I was praying to feel like myself again. I was just like, yo, I don't feel like me. I don't like myself. I don't like my life right now. Like, I just felt so bad. I was hopping from job to job. The shit with the fucking nail salon happened. I wasn't making any money at the nail salon, but then the shit happened. I went viral for that or whatever. They was like, going back and forth with me, doxing me online. Then I was working at this place where like, you freaking, when people get like pop-on veneers, you shave the plastic from around the veneers, which oddly so, you can make a lot of money doing that, like literally like $2-3 grand a week doing that shit. But it just wasn't something I wanted to do. So no matter, like, I really came to terms with the fact that, like, I always thought that I was the type of person that could just do things for the money. Like, oh, the money's good enough, I can thug it out. I'm not one of those people. The money can be amazing, and if I don't like it, I would still be miserable. So when I was at that tooth place, I was miserable, because I was like, the money's not, the money is, I was in training too, so I wasn't even seeing the commission money was where you really started to make money. I was in training, so I was only seeing training money. Training money, I was making $800 a week, and then after taxes, it was only $5 something a week. My mom had to bail me out and pay my rent 2 times at the end of 2022. My rent was only $1,100 in New York. That's not a lot, and I'm having to get bailed out because I couldn't pay it. So all that's happened or whatever, and I'm just realizing, like, okay, like, this is not really the things that I want to do, right? So when I got in the CNA class and I really started working towards like what I did want to do, I just felt like, for the first time in a long time, I felt like a sense of like, I have a purpose. I feel good about what I'm doing, and I feel good about myself. So again, I started the CNA class, and then my money has started just like improving crazy in the club. Like, y'all, when I tell you, it's like, I told God, I was like, hey, I need this amount, and God said bet. God literally said, bet, I got you. I see that you're actually, because it was one thing to ask the universe and ask God for things when my life was not aligning with what I was asking for. It's like, okay, I'm asking you, like, oh, make this better, make that better, or I want this, I want that. Then my lifestyle is not changing to, align with what I'm asking you for at all. I'm not working towards what I'm asking you for. I'm just asking for shit and expecting you to just place it in my lap. When I started actually working with the universe for the things that I was asking for, everything started aligning. So boom, I'm at the club, I'm working or whatever, and I'm making money. From June, I started off June saying, oh, I literally, like, I had been accepted in school, everything, and I was like, damn, it's June and I have a month and a half, and not even the whole month and a half, but really just like a month, to figure out how I'm gonna make $6K to make this move to Texas because I'm moving halfway across the country. I have all my stuff with me and I have my cat. So I was like, I have to figure out how to make 6K to do this. And then I was like, and not only that, then I gotta find a place, do the deposits for the place, all this other stuff. So like, I hate when people are like, oh, I moved with $300. Bitch, no you didn't. Because if you moved with $300 and you had an apartment with Dulu, then there's no way you would have paid the deposit on the apartment and paid like whatever else you need to pay, get everything started, and you only moved with $300. No, you didn't. Be honest. Be honest. People love the cat. So, and I'll break down, like when I get further into this, I'll break down like what I actually paid to like do certain things, so y'all will get an idea of like, if you want to move somewhere, like what all you need to save for. And y'all know every time I move, I've done this for y'all every time that I've moved, because I hate when people get on here and they cap, right? So I was just like, I have a month to make 6K. Everything started to align. I literally like, my aunt offered to pay for CNA school, so she paid for that. I got through CNA school. I took my CNA test, my state board, and I passed my state board. I got approved for the apartment, which was wild to me because my credit is shot. I was just like, oh my gosh, like how am I gonna find an apartment that would take me, like my mom, I literally, y'all, my mom don't play. She's old school, so like I don't know, the older generation thinks that everybody is like trying to like get their information and like find them. So getting my mom on board to be my guarantor was not easy, but I got her on board. So like my mom didn't like, I paid for everything in terms of the apartment, but I needed my mom to sign on as the guarantor, because some apartments, like if you don't have a guarantor and your credit's bad, like they'll still take you, but you have to pay way more to move in. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's gonna be so inconvenient, it's gonna fuck up my plans. So if I get my mom to sign on and I can pay, like literally, like my mom agreed to sign on, saved me my mom saved me $1,200 by agreeing to sign as my guarantor. Because otherwise I would have had to pay $1,500 on top of first month's rent, which first month's rent was $1,300. So I would have had to pay all that just to move in. So I would have paid about almost $3,000 to move in, right? So she saved my butt with that, right? So that started to align. And then it's crazy because I started getting like, y'all, like everything started to align. I started getting offers to do like podcasts in New York about like dancing in New York. And you know, people wanted to do like, there was other people that contacted me for a special that's gonna be on. I didn't end up doing this because again, the week that they were filming was the week that I was like leaving New York. It was a Netflix special, I gotta find it, but it was a Netflix special or something about like, basically about kind of along the same things, because I do talk a lot about my experiences dancing in New York as a Black woman or whatever. So people like tend to reach out for me and they wanna like talk to me about those things. So I'm getting offers like, you know, tell my story on different platforms and stuff like that, right? Money is flowing in, I'm getting opportunities. And it was just crazy because who's playing music? I'm sorry, y'all, I had to relocate because they're doing some type of like fit yoga thing outside, and I don't want to get copyrighted because they have like music playing. So yeah, like I was saying, like everything just like really started aligning like crazy, and I started just like getting opportunities, offers or whatever. Like, you know, I'm getting invited out to places that are like, you know, like it just started rolling in, y'all. Like when I say rolling in, like okay, so boom, then I got invited to go to this concert for like an artist that I really like, and I ended up like, you know, getting my outfit together, everything, like, you know, like it was like dope. I got to like go like backstage, everything like that. I got to be on the stage while that person was performing. Like it was just like so much random things were like coming into play, and opportunities were coming into play. Like people were just feeding me, handing me opportunities that like, it had been a, like I said, like it's just been a whole year of me basically getting shitted on just for me to like get into 2023. And 2023 started off like, it literally felt lighter. Like it felt lighter as soon as we got into the new year. But it started off slow. Like it's like, it felt lighter. I felt great. I felt phenomenal that it wasn't like the same energy for 2022, but it's like the opportunities and things coming in didn't just like, oh, 2023 hit and then boom. It was like, it started off slow, but then when it picked up, it just shot and it picked up, right? So all this is going on. I'm like still like I'm having the time of my life in New York. I'm hanging out with my friends before I go. I'm like doing all these things. I'm having these opportunities. I'm making money. Like everything is just aligning. And I pack up my stuff. I book my rental. So I'm gonna tell you guys like how I ended up like coming down to Dallas, right? So this is how I got my stuff down to Dallas.
Okay, I'm inserting this clip because I was just taking way too long to say something that shouldn't have taken that long to say. So essentially what I did was I drove a rental car. The rental car was $162 because I literally rented it just for like the night. Well, 24 hours, but really just the night. So I drove a rental car 7.5 hours from New York to Durham. I packed up everything from my room and everything that I could fit, and I did that. When I got down to Durham, my mom was nice enough to buy me some boxes, and then with those boxes, I packed up like, you know, my really important stuff. I left my winter stuff, but I packed up my really important stuff, and those will be getting shipped out via, it's like called like pirate ship or something like that. So pirate ship basically cuts your shipping prices in half. You just have to weigh the items yourself and you have to measure them yourself. I bought a plane ticket. I bought the plane ticket in the rental in advance, but the plane ticket altogether, because I had to do 3 checked bags, which, girl, the price went up for every single checked bag. So I did 3 checked bags, and then I also bought my cat her plane ticket. So altogether, my flight was $610. And then my security deposit for my apartment here in Texas was only $300, which is lit because like down south security deposits are not as high as up north. Up north they tend to be 1 month's rent, but down south they tend to be like maybe like anywhere from like $250 to like $500. My actual rent, which I don't want, like I don't know why people be trying to like gatekeep how much they pay for rent. Like what are people gonna do with that information, you know? My actual rent is $1,300. So yeah, y'all can do the math on all those things, but those are the main things that I paid for in order to like, you know, get my stuff in alignment, everything like that. The boxes with the pirate shipping are about all my boxes are like anywhere from like 40 to like the heaviest box is 50 pounds. UPS will let you ship up to 70 pounds. So my boxes were quoted about $50 a box, which is really good considering that most places would be like $150 a box, or you know, like $100 a box to ship all that. But yeah, those were like my bulk expenses for my move.
So yeah, that's what was going on, and it's honestly just crazy to me that like I can't stress this enough that like I literally had $400 in June. I was like flat broke. I had no fucking money. I was like, I don't know how I'm making this move, no nothing. And I ran that bitch the fuck up, and I came out here because I was like, I have a dream. And I was just like, you know, I did everything. Like I was just like making sure I did all the steps. Like I was keeping up with my schooling, I was calling, I was like talking to them about FAFSA, all the other options, whatever, as far as paying for school. And when everyone else was in the club shaking it, and I'm not judging, but granted, New York is a very superficial state, and all the girls love to flash their designer and kind of like look down at other people that don't have designer. So I'm like, when all the other girls were dancing in there for like their designer and like they want to flex for this or that, baby, I'm dancing to pay this tuition. I'm shaking this ass to pay this tuition. Like literally. I feel like people thought I was joking when I would say that, and I was like, I'm so dead ass. So yeah, that is like where I've been. Like I have been regrouping and like wanting to like realign and like really just like get back in a good headspace before I came back on YouTube, like, and especially back consistently, because again, some of the stories needed time to air out, but then other stories were just like, I was in a place in 2022 where like I did not want to be on camera because I did not like myself. I did not like my life. I did not like myself. I did not like the way that I looked, and it was just very hard for me to want to be on camera. And like, you know, even as far as like my settings, like I was tired of like now that I have a crib, it's like I can film all over my little space. I don't have to be in front of my bed. I don't have to be on my bed. I don't have to be in the area that is also supposed to be my area for relaxation. I can film my kitchen. I can film my freaking closet, or my closet slash bathroom, which I'm in right now. So yeah, I just have so many more options for like where I can film now, and I'm just like, it feels good to not be confined to like one space, but also to have your own space. And granted, my roommates in New York were great. I have literally like no complaints about my roommates up there, because, or at least this last set of roommates, because I got really lucky. They were both black girls. They were cool as heck. Like, we got along. Like, we all like respected each other's space, like whatever. Like, they were a vibe, and I have no complaints. It's just like I'm at an age where like I just crave like my own space, and I just want to come home and just be like me and my cat, and you know, everything just be like how I want it, how I left it. And it doesn't mean like they were like, oh, like I was going through anything like living with them. It's just like I said, like I just literally just wanted it to be me, and like they feel the same. Like they're at an age where like they want their own space too, you know. And I just knew that like that wasn't necessarily something that was gonna happen for me in New York. But yeah, that is my update, you guys. I am looking to get back on YouTube a lot more, and especially like when I can't get on YouTube, like y'all please make sure that you're following my TikTok, because I want to start doing like more story times and stuff on TikTok too, like shorter form content. But then also like I'm active on TikTok, like I do TikTok lives, like I be over there. So yeah, if you can't reach me here, you can reach me there. But all I can really say as far as like wrapping this whole thing up is, yeah, of course my cat would wait to like be like shitting under me as I'm doing this. We're gonna give her a second. Trust your intuition. Have a plan and stick to it, and make sure that whatever you are asking the universe for, what you are doing in your everyday life is aligning with what you're asking for. If you start seeing red flags from like, you know, situations around you or people around you, and you feel like, okay, like this just might, you know, this might be something that's in the way, it might be causing like some blockages here or there, as scary as it is, like don't be scared to detach and let go, because you'd be surprised how quickly the blessings and the abundance and everything starts flowing in once you let go. But yeah, this is my life update so far. I am officially a Dallas, Texas resident. I'm super happy. I'm excited to see the opportunities that come, the people that I meet. I'm scared to a degree, because like I don't have my like super like closest friends here. I had all my best friends back in New York. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited, and I can't wait to share with you guys like the stories that I have from my new life here in Texas. I know they'll be great. And yeah, wish me luck, y'all. So that is my little story, testimony, whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video, and it'll be soon because I'm gonna be back on my stuff. And yeah, I'm out. Bye.